put the screws in there by hand. Only by hand. Let me go get the impact gun. We're gonna be using, now that it's being driven by hand, we're gonna put it with the gun now. You can use a swivel. I suggest you use a swivel.
What kind of torque you want on that?
Just try it all the way down and then tighten by hand. Now you hear the gun, but that's because it's going sideways, so it has to fight the tooling. So it doesn't mean that I'm putting 300-400 pounds of torque. So again, crisscross. I already tied this one. You're gonna come to this one. You see that one went easier? That's probably because the threads on this one are a lot better. Now you can tie this one.
Same thing.
Now turn it around. The other one. Now you can actually go back to the one that you started first and just double check it with the gun. Be easy with it, like that. Let me get another ratchet and a longer extension.
Okay.
All right, there it is, long extension. And you don't have to super tight it again.
We're just gonna get it real snug.
Yes, make sure it's snug in there, because then later you're gonna have to take it off apart anyway. See that one? That one's still torque.
Yeah.
That's the reason that I say don't try to torque it with the gun, because with the gun you can feel how much torque you put in there. You don't know the screw is going threaded, or you don't know how it is doing. So always do it the final torquing. There it is. Pretty snug. Now you will turn it around. You see we got this side nice and clean. We took all the debris that we put in there initially from working on right on top of it.
Looks
And I know,
new.
yeah, I know some people is gonna comment or complain that why we put it right on top, that we could have break it. Yeah, we could have. Same way that you could have break the motor, you drop it on the floor, but you make sure you don't do that. Like that. So you make sure you don't drop it on the floor, you don't break anything. Make sure you don't lose anything, you can put it back. Now remember at the beginning of the video, we got this thingamajig. Alright? We got your wiper for your shaft, and it keeps pressure on it. You wanna make sure you lube it. Get some of that magic lube.
Lube it real good.
Yes.
Including the springs. The springs sometimes will have tendency to stick. One that we've worked on before, once we got it open, we were able to unjam that spring.
Yep.
Now they say not to touch the rubber with your hands once you use that lube on there, but as fast as these things are spinning and moving, it's really not going to make that much of a difference in reality.
Yeah, what they mean is they don't want you to put dirt
from your hands on there.
Don't put grime or granules from the rock.
It doesn't take much.
Make sure you clean your screwdriver. Again, you push it in there, push it in there, push it in there, push it in there, in there, and then you see that?
Yep.
It went far down inside.
Yep.
And that's how far you want it to go. Now your impeller.
Alright, now before we put the impeller on, we're going to go ahead and put some lubricant.
Yes. Again on the same spot. Alright, we already lubed this impeller. When you put in the impeller, make sure it's not missing pieces, so you don't have rocks on the inside. Make sure you look on the insides of the impeller blades. To make sure that it doesn't have debris, because that will cause it to go unbalanced when it starts spinning really hard and gets put a load on the motor. It will start spinning like this, and it will be inside the hole, and it will go like this. You can see this one has some grooves in there.
Yeah.
That's the reason of it. We actually opened it and it had a rock stuck in one side. Now you might think, well, how big can be the rock? Well, as small as it can be, we'll put on balance on it. 4,300 RPMs is pretty fast. So you're gonna put your impeller. Be careful again. Don't rush it. You don't have to rush none of this. You don't want to break anything. Take your 14mm, put it on the back. Should go pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes a little bit hard, that's fine, but you don't want it to be like to the point that you have to get a trap wrench or anything like that, because then it's just something went wrong. Maybe you can break it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So just continue to tighten it. Keep having your 14. I'm doing the 14, the wrench on the back, and turning the propeller at the same time, just so it can be faster. I don't want to miss the Simpsons. They will be coming out soon, and I don't want to miss cartoons. Alright, you will get to the point where,
Hand tight.
yeah, where this thing is gonna stop. Now I got grease on my hands. Let me make sure I actually tied it. Again, you don't want to use any auxiliary tools on this side. You can use your wrench on this side, because otherwise you're not gonna hold it. And then take your nut. Pay attention to this nut is reverse threaded, left hand threaded. So in order for you to tighten it, you have to put it like if you're loosening it. Okay.
So in other words, you're going to be spinning it counterclockwise to tighten it.
That's right. Okay.
Put on pause.
Okay guys, we find ourselves in a little bit of a pickle. As you can see, the impeller is not here anymore. We're still here, it's not broken, but this is what happened. The guy that helped us had to take the bearing out of there. He used a puller, and the puller indented in here, and I was trying and trying, it wouldn't go in there. So what we had to do is spray some Adobe 40, put this Sherry drill bit in there, and as you can see, it goes barely, I don't know,
16th?
yeah, like an eighth of an inch. I will have to just put it in there just enough, just so I can take those threads that got crushed in there, and then try it, and then work it out and make sure that I got everything clean.
And now it's in there.
Now it's in there. You see some bubbles coming, that's from the lubricant. Always lubricate everything. Of course, some of this stuff sometimes takes like thread locker and stuff like that. But anyway, make sure everything is clean. I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing sideways like this. And now this one is normal thread or regular thread, clockwise. Alright, there it is.
There it is.
It's all the way in. Now let me see where I put my head, because I can't find the screw. Here it is. This is a 16mm. It will go inside that hole.
Counterclockwise.
Yeah, counterclockwise. This is what is gonna keep your impeller from flying away. Okay. Take your super powerful ratchet. Put about 7,000 pounds of torque. No.
He's just kidding.
Yes. Just tighten it until it just snug. Some people say, okay, what does it mean just a little bit? What does it mean just snug? What is that a standard number of pounds? No, it just means put about 16 pounds. You know, just snug it like that, and that's it. Now spin it, double check your work. It spins freely. You hear no noises, no rubbing, no anything.
Quiet.
Yes, very quiet. You can check on the back where I've been holding it. It also has a new bearing in there. Probably you guys can see it.
Yep. Get real close so you can see that new bearing.
Yeah.
We put that in there too. If you're going to take it apart, you might as well replace both bearings.
And don't forget the washer on the bottom.
Especially for dollar, it's a great investment.
Yeah, see if you can get another 16 years of this motor.
Yep, this one's 15 years old.
Part number 6802 Daniel U. No, I mean Daniel DU. 6802 DU. That's the part number for these. These are national bearings that you can find on your local auto parts, okay?
That's Daniel Union.
Daniel Union.
Okay.
Daniel Union.
All right.
Sorry.
It's all right. Your English is getting a lot better.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay.